Yes, people. How are we? How is everyone doing, man? Welcome back to True City TV. Um, I thought I would do a little bit of match reaction because I haven't spoken to you in a while. I haven't been on the channel since we done the press conference match reaction the other day. That was weeks ago, wasn't it? So yeah, I thought I would just do a quick match reaction. I think there'll be a emergency meeting later on at night. I think Kels is going to be running that. Um, and yeah, man, I just thought I would just come and do a small stream, chatting to you guys, chat to the community, get your thoughts on the game, and basically just get your thoughts on the overall performance from Man City. Just looking back at previous games like Leeds, Fulham, Sunderland, and yes, last night's games as well. But we will talk more about last night's game because obviously it's still fresh in our memories. It happened less than 24 hours ago. But yeah, smash the likes and then drop the subscribe and make sure you drop your thoughts on the comments. And we're gonna go through the comments. I want to read also your takes also in the game. Obviously, I'm gonna give mine. And but yeah, the title of the stream is basically it was the 3 points. We need that 3 points at the back of Leverkusen defeat at home. So we felt like we were under pressure to get the 3 points, albeit just to make sure we finish at that top half eight and avoid any extra game come January or February, whatever they play that playoff. But yeah, but it wasn't pretty, was it? Let's be honest. We're happy with the win, definitely. We're happy with the 3 points, especially away from home, where we're not being really good at it this season. But it is regardless of how bad they've been, Real Madrid, it's still a difficult ground to go to. It's still a difficult away game to play. Um, but yeah. Um, let's just let me go through the few comments, and we're gonna go through step bits by bit. We're gonna start from the lineup. We're gonna start from the first 15 minutes of that game because there was quite a lot to talk about in that first 50 minutes of the game. And then just go we just let the conversation flow. Do you know what I mean? There's no like a plan in terms of what we talking first. We just talking, man. Let's just let the conversation flow, basically. Big up TL, man. Big up, man. I hope you're good, bro. Yesterday on LB's channel, they say Roger wants to have an extension. His back wants to get back to Spain, something along these lines. Well, uh, we have been playing without Roger for nearly a year and a half, so it is what it is, brother. It is what it is. No player is bigger than the club. Man City will still exist with or without Roger, bro. We were here before Roger in there. So yeah, not much on that. Yeah. Big up yourself, man. Jesse, I know we won, but it feels like the last two games with Madrid, Sunderland, I feel we've gone back to methodical, slow style. Yeah. We'll dissect on that, bro. We'll dissect on that. Not so much on Sunderland, but yesterday, yeah. But yeah, big up Herbal. Yeah, make sure that smash the likes, bro. Yeah. Smash the like, man. It's help the channel, help us the community to grow as well. Do you know what I mean? Like we're not as big as other communities in terms of fan channel, especially the Man City community, but we're trying to get there. We're global in terms of fan base, but we're not as vocal, mate, as other channel. Maybe because we're kind of winning, and people online they like overreaction in terms of like if you see clubs that they've got massive massive platforms, it's not just because of the fan base, it's because also that they've got more to talk about when you're winning, especially the manner that we were winning in terms of trophies, league title after league titles. There were not much to talk about because people were going to games, even people were going to seasons, thinking, "No, City's going to win it." So what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, smash the lights, man. Cool, man. Big up yourself, bro. You hope you're good, yeah. Right, let's start with the. Let's talk about the game. We come into this game. There was high expectation. It was a bit. Everyone was nervous. Because obviously, even though Real Madrid was coming back off, a defeat against Celta Vigo. Yeah, they played Celta. They got slapped 2-0 at home at the Bernabeu. But when they face Man City, is a different game for them, especially in the Champions League. Before that, I think they beat Atletico Club 3-0, but they drew with Girona 1-1. So even their league form is awful. They drew with Eche 2-2 as well, and they scrapped a 3-4 win against in the other Champions League game. What was it? Olympiacos. It was Olympiacos, yeah. And but we were coming to this game. We as City fans were a bit nervous, but mostly because we knew our team is not ready just yet. We knew we are a bit fragile, especially away from home. We can play football matches at home, but away from home is still a tricky one. But we got into the game, starting lineup. He didn't change much. He went to with the same starting 11: Cherky, Haaland, Doku up front. Um, then was it Cherky, Haaland, Bernardo? I don't even know where Bernardo plays anymore, to be honest. And then in midfield was Foden and Reinders in there. And the back line is the same, never changed. O'Reilly, Vardy, Diaz, and Nunes and Donnarumma. So we start the game a bit shaky. The first very early on in the first minute, Vardy gave the ball away in the middle of the park. They countered, and then he managed to make an interception of the ball when just as soon as Rodrigo was playing that ball out wide, he managed to intercept it, and the ball gets into Nico Gonzalez. Nico Gonzalez get the ball to um, Bernardo Silva. And Bernardo Silva, for some unknown reason, I don't know what he was trying to do there. He just gave the ball away. He was trying to shield the ball. He gave the ball away into Vinicius Junior. Vinicius Junior trying to do a trick with Nunes. He fouled him. And we first thought it would be a penalty, but when we watched the replay, it was outside the box. But we were like, oh, there we go again, giving a penalty log in the first minute of the game. If that was a penalty, it would be a long day for us. Luckily, it wasn't. They took a free. It was a free kick. It was a diversion. Went out wide, and then again, we were just keeping making mistakes in the first 10 minutes of the game, and then Real Madrid was not capitalizing on them. They were playing counter-attack football, and at the times where it felt like we were playing 5-4. Like it was the back four and Nico Gonzalez, and it was the four up front or the five up front. There was nothing in the middle, nothing. There was literally zero people in that midfield apart from Nico Gonzalez. Foden was in the midfield. Bernardo was nowhere near to be seen. He's the only player that actually people say he plays everywhere, but in his actual position, he's nowhere near the midfield. Yeah, and then there were peppering our goals, and we just had no response, and then we all thought, right, okay, the goal is coming, and it did, it did. The goal came from a simple ball. Bernardo Silva, I thought we all thought was under control. It's just simple duel to win, really. You don't need to do much. But again, he was trying to shield the ball for some reason. You don't need to shield the ball at the time. Like just grab the ball and play it simple. No, he couldn't win the duels. Was it Correras, whatever his name is, won the ball, spread it out wide because basically Real Madrid was just playing spreading the ball out wide because they were making the pitch bigger whilst we were trying to make the pitch small. That's why in many occasions our fullbacks were facing 2v1 because literally they were playing wingers and the fullback going up down the pitch. They were building up the three with two men and two centre halves, and then two midfielders in Bellingham and was it Ceballos, and basically everyone else was just out wide, and they were causing problems like that. Bernardo Silva couldn't win the duel. They spread the ball out wide and left just the back line. As I say, there was nowhere and no one in that midfield. They were just the back line and the attack, no one in midfield. And then the ball goes into Rodrigo, who we were linking the whole summer. Savio goes, if Savio goes, Rodrigo will come in. All these buzz phrases and whatnot. And then Rodrigo just took a shot. I thought Donnarumma should have done better, in my opinion. For a goalkeeper of his quality, he should be saving that. Sorry. I know it was a nice strike, but he should have been saving that. He has to do a bit better. And we've seen him saving mad saves. And that's something that Donnarumma needs to improve. To be honest, he needs to let go of the hype from the fan base. I feel like he's letting the hype get into his head to a point where he needs to concentrate on the game. Yeah, forget about the hype. All these high fives. If the all these if the your back line is keeping high fiving you every time you make a save, you need to tell them off. Yeah, you need to tell them off. Yeah, because if you start accepting high five from Ruben Diaz every time he had a Boza moment, or accepting high five from Vardy every time he has a Boza moment, that back line, they'll become very accustomed to that. They'll get into their mind that, oh, we're safe. No, 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 no. Tell them off. Yeah. Just start get their heads into the game and stop making silly mistakes. Yeah. He should have saved that ball. Yeah. I listen, I rate Roma, and I think he's been a breath of fresh air and he's been quality for us. But there's been moment in this season where he just getting a bit way too emotional, especially with the amount of yellow card he's getting. Do you know what I mean? Just put your feet on the ground, concentrate on the game. Yeah, it's a serious job. You need to use your head a little bit. Don't get that praise or that fan reaction praising or getting all over your head, mate. You need to concentrate. Yeah? It's as simple as that. But yeah, but as soon as they've scored, we managed to get a hold of the game a bit more. And then we scored the equalizer straight away from a corner. Nice header, nice header by Vardio. I think every corner now we just trying to get into Vardio. Nice header by Vardio. Bit Bozo moment from Courtois, but Nico Riley was right there for the rebound and he put the ball in the back of the net. We go into 1-1, and straight after Doc will get the ball. Late to O'Reilly. O'Reilly tried to put the cross in. Was Rudiger. It was Rudiger. Rudiger tried to grab it with Haaland, and he done his star cuts or his state tactics where he fouled the player and he fell onto the ground as if like, oh yeah, he was grabbing me as well. But luckily we had the VAR. Which, by the way, the referee didn't give the penalty, which was shambles. Really, that referee was a disgrace, honestly. But luckily, we had the VAR and it went to penalty. As soon as we got the penalty, I was like, well, he's missing. Haaland's not going to score. He's going to miss that. But luckily, he managed to score. And 2-1, we went to half time. And we both thought, right, okay, it's 2-1. But we rolled our luck a bit. But let's see what sort of change Pep is gonna be making. Because that team, yeah, it was awful in midfield. The midfield was non-existent. I expect him to come in the half time, make the tactical adjustments. I was expecting maybe Tijani Reinders to come on straight to half time for Bernardo, or maybe Kusanov in there, play right back, just had a bit more pace because they were using pace, and put Nunes in midfield. Yeah, put Nunes in midfield, help out Nico Gonzalez because there was nothing in midfield. But no, he came out in the second half with the same team, and we look absolutely rubbish. That second half was probably one of the worst I've ever watched. We look rubbish, rubbish from start to finish. Yeah, we couldn't get a hold of the ball. Real Madrid was just like bombing forward all the time. We were just trying to hold on into the game for 45 minutes, and that is not sustainable, especially in this competition. Let's not forget, Real Madrid was wasteful because if that was any other team that would have been more clinical in the final third, the game was we would have been done. And yeah, that's why that's the title. It's 3 points. Let's listen. We get the 3 points. We move on. We fourth in the table, but our performances they need to improve, man. Big time. The midfield profile, the midfield that he's choosing to go with is a massive problem away from home. They play well at home because obviously they have the crowd behind them, and they've got that home factor, the fear factor at home. But when we go away from home, that midfield is non-existent. Non-existent. They can't win duels. They can't put tackles in. They don't win any ground duels or aerial duels because Bernardo Silva yesterday, yeah, if that guy doesn't go on a bench against Palace, then that says everything you need to know about um, this manager and his favoritism. Because that was one of the most pathetic performances I've ever watched for a captain. He's a captain, yeah, and we accepting performance like that in a big stage of like, in a big game, yeah. But no, I'm pretty sure against Palace he will bench Cherky, and he played 90 minutes. That captain, do you know what I mean? He played 90 minutes. We were sat in there, see Foden coming off, Cherky coming off, Haaland coming off, and it was like, why is Bernardo still on the pitch? He's doing nothing. But he will not take him off. He's his favorite. But if that was Chaikin, every time Chaikin plays poorly, the next game he's on the bench. But Bernardo Silva can stink out the gap anytime he wants because he knows he's going to be on the starting 11 the next game. Why? What's happened to Reinders? Why all of a sudden Reinders is just a bench player? Yeah, he had a poor games. Yeah, so does Foden, and so does Bernardo Silva. But they always go into the starting 11 the next game. Why is there for a new signing he's not allowed to have a poor game, but players who have been stinking out the gaff for 2, 3 seasons, i.e. the captain, they're always in the starting 11. Make it make sense. Because let's face it, if Nunes has a bad game, he would take Nunes out of the starting 11. And the fan base will back it. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. It's absolute mad. Yeah. But let's not be too negative about that. Is the three we got the 3 points, yeah. But we need to raise up our performance, especially away from home, because Palace is not going to be easy, and Palace is a physical team. So what are we gonna line up with the same midfield three that is not working? People going on about we need like for example to say we need both Anderson and Gibbs White, yeah. Nothing's gonna change. Even you can go and sign Anderson, yeah. I tell you everyone, you can go and sign Anderson in January. He will not start. He will not start. Because right now there is only really two positions. Well, there's only one position up in that pit that is in that starting 11 that is up for grabs, and that is the right winger, if you can consider right winger really, because the back line is set. That's his back line. He's not going to change it. He's not going to put Kusanov. He's not going to play anyone else. and he needs to hold the midfielder, right? Which is Nico Gonzalez right now because Roger is not fit. When Roger is fit, Nico Gonzalez goes on the bench because he said he can only play with one holding midfielder. And then he's got Foden, who is the guy who scores goals apart from Haaland. So Foden goes in there. He's got Doku. He's got Haaland. And then, right, he's got his captain, because let's face it, you can go get Anderson, Gibbs White, Wharton. No one is gonna come into this team and bench Bernardo. No one. No one. Yeah. No new signings. It's not because of the quality of the player, it's because the manager will not allow that. Pep will not allow that. Yeah. It's either he might get into that he might get into the midfield, and put Bernardo as a right winger, or if he needs to be lucky to be able to play midfield because Bernardo is going to go in midfield. So it doesn't matter who you're buying. Yeah, he's not going to play anyone in there head of Bernardo Silva, but head of Foden, for that matter, because Reinders cannot play there. People say, "Oh, let's get Semenyo." Yeah, to play right wing, cool. But if you get Semenyo, then that means he needs to change the profile midfield because you cannot play Semenyo, Haaland, Doku, and then you play two eights in Foden and Bernardo Silva, or Foden and Cherky, and just one DM. We're gonna get absolutely overrun, overpowered in that midfield. Yeah, and it'll make us look like a Sunday League team. It will not work. Yeah. And if he goes and get Anderson, yeah, let's say Roger's not fit, we'll play Nico Gonzalez, Anderson, and Foden. Yeah. And then the attack will be Bernardo Silva, Haaland, Doku. There's not two ways about that. He's not gonna bench his captain. So forget about new signings. Yeah, it doesn't matter who you're bringing in. Yeah. And let's not forget, Savio, he just coaching Savio to be in our starting 11. Savio is his guy. He already said it. He will play a lot of minutes. So yeah, it's big. But let's hear your thoughts, man. I want to hear people's thoughts. Let me just go through the comments. Yeah, the attacks were poor yesterday. Nah, I don't think the attack were poor. I think it was just the midfield. I think the attack done just enough. I think Doku was creating quite a lot of chances, was taking man on, and I think he was putting decent crosses. Even Cherky put a decent crosses in there. But as soon as the opposition wins the ball, you need your midfield to actually go into physical battles, and we don't have that, unfortunately. Yeah, that's why Nico Gonzalez is the only one winning the ball back in midfield. No one else can do it. Yeah, because we chosen to go away from home with the same profile of players that we play at home. But yeah, do you think the side still trying to master how change? Right. Do you still decide the side is still trying to master how to change simultaneously in game between being direct and being controlled? Well, that's one thing I didn't like about the approach yesterday is how high we were pressing Jay-Z. Yeah, because when you're away from home, especially Real Madrid wasn't pressing us. They dropped deep and they were playing a counter. Yeah, they were playing like they were the away team, and we were playing like we were the home team. As soon as we lose the ball, press, 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 and we were getting bypassed because Doku doesn't press much. Haaland doesn't press. Turkey, have you seen that the way the guy press? Right? And then, yeah, which you kind of allow it. And then there's some midfielders and Ford and Bernardo, they don't press really. They won't put any tackles in. So that's why most of that time, when we were pressing, we were playing with 5-5 because there was nothing in the middle. The five that were trying to go and press couldn't press, and they were just left with the back four and the whole midfielder. We were way too open for an away game. Yeah, sometimes, yeah, you gotta drop deep. Just like they're playing at home. Let them have the ball. You sit there and let's hit them in the counter. Look at that counter that we had with Doku. Lay the ball over to Nico O'Reilly. Counter, strict counter. O'Reilly put a cross in for was it Haaland? Kick it. The goalkeeper made save. Then Cherky came in the back post and had another shot, and the goalkeeper saved again. This is the best football these players can. This group of players can play. They cannot go press, press, press. They are transitional players. They counter-attack players. Doku, Haaland, Cherky. These all them man. They counter-attack. Even Nunes. Look at Nunes. When every time the team has a counter-attack, Nunes is bumping, like literally running forwards in that right hand side, because they like to play counter-attack. They don't like to play this possession-based football or pressing, because when you ask them to press, that's why this team, our team, gets very, very tired after the 60-odd minute, because you ask them to press all the time and it doesn't suit the way they want to play. That's why they always knackered in the 60-odd minutes. And you know how long we take just to making subs to bring in fresh leg in that team. And you know Pep, he hates making subs. He told us. But yeah, no man, we need to if he wants to play this pressing game, then he needs to change his profile in midfield. Bernardo Silva, and forward doesn't work. Bernardo Silva, Cherky in midfield, pressing game, it does not work. You need to have a Nico Gonzalez in there, but you also need to have a box-to-box in there that can actually win your duels, like win the ball back quick. And right now, we don't have that. Well, we do, but both of them, they're playing fullbacks in Nico Riley and Nunes. One who's playing right back, the manager doesn't trust him to play in midfield, albeit he's a midfielder, and albeit we know he can do a job in midfield. Doesn't matter what the manager say. We even from the fullback, the way he breaks up press, we know he's a proper midfielder. And then Nick O'Reilly, who's a midfielder and playing left back. Why? To accommodate the ones he prefers. It's as simple as that. No one can sugarcoat it. You can make all these sort of excuses all you want, but you got to say it as it is. Do you know what I mean? In the past, we played Real Madrid off the back and still lost. Had to scrappy win. Yeah, man. Listen, we take the 3 points, but as I say, the performance, it wasn't sustainable. Do you know what I mean? Because let's not forget, it's not like the goalkeeper made some mad save. They were not clinical in front of goal. Like Bellingham had one, so literally, he just skipped the ball low. He tried to chip in the goalkeeper. And Vinny also tried to in the first half. And but yeah. And then we had then they had the header who hit the bar. And there were quite a lot of chances being missed. Even Garcia came on as well. But yeah, listen, and I'm happy with the scrappy win, but it has been quite a lots of scrappy wins recently, bro. Like Fulham, do you know what I mean? Like Leeds, come on, man, what are we doing here? I think they're trying to be direct, but Czech and Bernardo are not good at direct. They are suit for control. Nah, I don't think Czech is. I think Czech is like I think Czech is like a proper direct player. The problem is Czech is playing on the pep, so he has to recycle the ball sometimes.
How is that? Is that better?
Well, we got Patrick. I don't know, man. You tell me. Like you remember? I remember against Sunderland, yeah. Where
Do you know
Czech
what? Did you
like
see what I wrote, Matteus? I said the issue is our fan base. We are running the gimmick in 2025 that Pep is a genius. That gimmick is the.
Listen, yeah, I remember. Yeah, I think it was Sunderland, where Nunes won the midfield, won the ball, and he took a couple of mans out. Like he took a couple of mans on, he lay into Cherky, and he started making the run. He started running, and it was like a point and Cherky, put the ball there, and Cherky literally had another touch, tried to take a man on, and recycled, And Nuno was like, "Oh, mate, put the ball there." Like, how many times we've seen O'Reilly making the run and Doku is not like putting the ball straight away. It's not. He's having another touch. He play the ball back when the rider like, brother, the fullbacks I want to play in transition. Haaland wants to play in transition. Like, why are we not actually create a system that gets the best out of this player? Why are we forcing these players to play a system that does not suit them? Like, if you want to play these pressing games, yeah, if you want to, you need to have players in midfield that can win you the battles. Yeah, if people say, "Oh, look at Pep Linders when we're trying to do like a Liverpool 2.0 with Pep Linders," yeah, cool. In terms of Salah, Mane, and Firmino, yeah, they were pressing. However, look at the midfield that they used to have: Wijnaldum, it was like Henderson and Fabinho. These are not technical midfielders. These are just horses that were there to duels, win the ball back, win the ball back, win the ball back, to like get physical. Or look at our midfield: Bernardo, Foden, 5'2", 5'5", Bernardo 5'5", Foden, skinny, no really physical, and then one and Nico Gonzalez, who's physical. You can't play like that, brother. Do you know what I mean, Mayo? Come on, man. What are we doing? I feel like the game plan was good. We never really had to try and even rotate in the 70. Well, the game plan, are you saying that, bro? We gave the ball away. We were giving the ball away in the first 10 minutes of that game. What was the game plan? Just making mistakes after mistakes. Hairball, come on, man. What are we doing here? We got Spartacus. See, Spartacus is Spartan Martin's coat. I keep telling him now. I thought in the first 30 minutes we were too slow moving the ball. Maybe Pep was scared of getting caught on transition again. Well, they were playing in transition and they were cutting us in transition all the time, bro. Come on, man. What are we doing there? Yeah, we didn't look amazing first 30 minutes, but um Nico Riley goal. After the Nico Riley goal, we came alive. But Nico Riley goal was in the 35th minute. And then we scored the second after in the 6th minute. But after that, we managed the game. We managed to get into halftime with the 2-1. But that second half, oh, it was one of the worst I've ever seen. Do you know what I mean? And we've been quite poor in second halves this season. Really, really poor in second halves. Do you know what I mean? We struggle in second halves for some reason. There's a lack of control from us, lack of basics. It's just I just being able to pass the ball 5 yards. Nico G needs Bernardo to sit with him. Yeah, but sit with him to do what? People keep telling me this, yeah, Amar, yeah, not having a go at you. Well, Bernardo just needs to sit deep so he doesn't run. With him to do what? He's not going to win any duels, but sit next to him to do what exactly? Is he going to throw himself into tackles, win the ball back, win any duels, aerial duels or ground duels? Sitting next to him to do what? Tell me, to do what? Just to play so when in possession, so he can just play the ball back to defenders or play the ball back to him next to the person next to him. What about out of possession? You need a physical midfield next to Nico Gonzalez. You need that. And you've got two of them playing fullbacks. And you've got fullbacks on the bench. Oh my days. There was not play passing the ball through the lines, bro. We don't play through the lines. We play like literally our game is just on the sides. Just put the ball, just spread the ball on the side. We don't play through the lines. Occasionally, we 1 or 2 times when Foden get into them pockets, but apart from that, who's gonna play the ball through the lines? Bernardo Silva can't even make 10, 15 yards pass forward. Who's gonna do that? All right, Cherky's on the wing. Because if you look at the way we play football, Turkey will start in the central zones, but and Bernardo Silva out wide. But if Bernardo Silva is not touching the ball for 20 minutes, he will tell Turkey to go out wide, and he goes into midfield so he can make himself look busy. It's jarring. It's absolutely jarring on. Another big game, another stinker. Nah, allow it. Yeah. Predator, you can't criticize Foden. He's the star boy. He's the star boy, man. You can't say, oh, you've got an agenda. Why are you criticizing Phil Foden? He's been scoring goals. Yeah, man. Told you. Don't worry. Yeah. We'll be playing next. We playing Crystal Palace next. We gonna then we playing West Ham at home. Yeah, he's gonna turn up against West Ham at home. Don't worry. Don't worry, Mr. Phil. He's gonna turn up against West Ham at home. Yeah, Foden needs to bench, which has been benched. Foden needs to be benched, which he was benched in the last few games. Now, I don't agree with Foden being benched. I just feel like you're gonna. That's the thing with Foden. He's been inconsistent. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you can't criticize much about. You can't criticize our star boy, can you? In this fan base, they're gonna start throwing knives at you. Oden has not shown up in the big games in the last 2 seasons. Yeah, he's very inconsistent, man. I feel we didn't have enough go Real Madrid. They're awful, bro. That Real Madrid is a crap, bro. Like they awful. Like we made them look good, man. Like we do any other team. We make Fulham look good. We make Leeds look good. We make even bloody like Everton or when we played Burnley in that first half, made Burnley look good. Like Real Madrid are crap, bro. They're awful. Yeah, they bloody awful. I look, but we make brother. We make any 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 average team look good. But you can't say that. Oh my god, it's a tough away ground to go. Oh, the king of Europe, brother. They crap, bro. They absolute crap, man. Yeah, big up Zoro, man. I hope you're good, bro. Become 9 months member. Big up yourself, brother. Big up yourself. Yeah, let's go with the comment. Yeah. I feel Foden's playing different in big games, more defensive. Pep can asking more of the ball from him. But the reason why he's asking more of the ball or more work off the ball from him is because the midfield is away. That midfield selection is not sustainable away from him. He needs to change his profile in midfield. He needs to, bro. He needs to. Look at our midfield, yeah. Like how many of them that midfield three? How many of them wins any duels? Because you have to win duels if you want to win your midfield battles. Like none of them. Like even back in the day, yeah, when we had Rodrigundo and KDB. Yeah, KDB was the more advanced, but KDB used to press. Do you know, KDB was good at pressing. And then you had Gundo, who actually used to win a lot of ground duels because he was actually a smart player. Bear in mind that Gundo also used to play in a six under Pep, so he understood the position. But in the attack, we had a player like Jack Grealish, who people maybe don't rate him as an out and out forward, but the work rate that he used to put in there in terms of winning the ball back was unreal. Then you had the pace at the back with Kyle Walker. You had a good John Stones. You had a different Ruben Diaz. Do you know what I mean? So the team was actually balanced, and you had even the prime Bernardo in there. Do you know what I mean? But now you go a washed up version of Bernardo Silva playing 90 minutes every week, doing absolute fuck all. We've got a striker playing at the back in Josh Vardy. Let's face it, he's a striker. He told us he's a striker. He's not a centre half, but he's playing at the back. Yeah, and he's not very good at defending, but he scored goals, so the fan base is okay with that. And we have two central midfielders playing fullbacks. So in our back line, we only got one centre half and a goalkeeper. In the two centre midfielders playing fullbacks and a striker playing centre half in Joshua Vardio. Do you know what I mean? What we doing here? Don't worry. I'm so good. He was good against West Ham, bro. No, he was good against West Ham. That's why I feel we try to go back to control. Yeah, we can't, brother. We can't even control games with that midfield. Why are we even trying to do that? It doesn't make any sense, Jazzy. You get me? Yeah, big up Ricardo. Big up Ricardo. I think we played for the draw, hence why we rotate in the 70th minute. Real Madrid is trash and we beat them without playing amazing football. Yeah, that sums it up, brother. Herbo, you summed it up. You summed it up. They're trash and they didn't even play well. You know what I mean? That's how bad they are. Yeah, I was waiting for El Comunicado Oficial from their Real Madrid account on Twitter saying that Xabi Alonso was sacked because I think Xabi Alonso is going to go through Liverpool. I think Liverpool just waiting until they get rid of Slot and they'll get Xabi Alonso. They'll get Xabi Alonso because I don't think Xabi Alonso is a bad manager, but I just feel like Real Madrid with the players that he's got is way too big a job for them. Like he's managing big egos. He's managed Vinicius, he managed Bellingham, and he's managing Mbappe. Like these are big ego play. Like they've got a massive ego, and you can't play all of them. That's why he was trying to play Arda Güler in his midfield to a point where even Bellingham was benched at times, and Bellingham was having none of that. You know what I mean? Like he can't manage these players. It's very hard. Even Ancelotti did because obviously Ancelotti is an experienced man, and people actually respect Ancelotti to what he's done in the game. But Xabi Alonso, brother, it's a different kind of fish, isn't it? It's a different kind of fish. When Roger is fit, I would go Roger, Nico G, Czech in midfield. Czech is a controller, needs to be in the middle. I think Czech needs to be in that number 10, brother. I do, Omar. But in terms of Roger Nico Gonzalez, it ain't happening because if you watch the press conference, uh, press conference against before the Burnley game, he was asked when Roger's coming back, and he said that he gave the standard answer. I don't know. He's closed. Hopefully he's coming back soon. But he was asked whether when Roger comes back, would you play Roger Nico Gonzalez because Nico Gonzalez is in such an amazing form, and he said yes, they can play together, but I prefer not to. I don't like playing with two holding midfielders. I like to play with one because if I play with two, it takes the creativity up front. So the next question that journalist should have asked is, "What, Pep? We're not playing through the midfield. Why would playing with two holding midfielder would take the creativity up front when we creating through the wings? Really, most of that chance creation that comes through Doku, who's a left winger. Make it make sense. But we basically was saying that. Well, if he plays with two holding midfielders, that means Foden will be playing in the 10. He can't bench Foden, and that means Bernardo Silva will be benched, and he's not having none of that, unfortunately. So yeah, never mind. Keep your heads up. On to the next. We didn't attack the fullbacks enough. Yeah, we didn't, bro. That Correa had a day of his game, had a day of his life. Do you know what I mean? No one was taking him on. Even Valverde, he was getting support from Rodrigo. Have you guys seen the comment from Rodrigo? Yeah, Pep is so I was praising Rodrigo. Do you know what I mean, brother? and everyone was just, oh, making it happen, making it happen, please. Pep has already chosen Savio over Rodrigo, brother. He was just playing with your minds. Jack can't run. He will never be in midfield. Yeah, but why? That's not true. Do you know what I mean? That's not true. If you look at the treble season, albeit KDB, we can't really compare Czech to KDB to be fair. But in that treble season, we were kind of playing with two up front with Bernat and KDB and Haaland, and the rest were just doing the dirty work. Haaland was and KDB wasn't running much. Maybe it was because of KDB had an injury and he was just trying to get through each game. But yeah, I think there's something that Jake can improve in his game. He's pressing and he's tracking back sometimes. Same with Docker to be fair. Sometimes Docker's just joking back. Like every time he needs to have actually tracked back, it's just that. Yeah. Even Savio was better than Savio yesterday. Savio was brother, Savio came on, yeah. Savio came on. Yeah. I'm not messing. Yeah, Savio came on and gave the ball like Nunes won the ball back, and he gave the ball straight away to Real Madrid for a throw. And people say, "Oh, but he played well. He done better. Oh, he was driving the ball forwards away from the danger. He was winning fouls." Jack Grealish was doing that, and you all wanted him out of the football club. What are we doing here? uh, I predict 2-1 win Manchester City. Yeah. I predicted a win, to be fair, Ricardo. I did predict a win. But yeah, the thing that pissed me off even more, it was the mistakes that we were making in the first 10 minutes of the game and the second half. The second half pissed me off way more. But listen, they dug deep. They defended really well. And we came away with the 3 points. I guess that's the most important thing. But performance wise, we need to improve, brother. We need to improve. Pregator said Czech should be playing 10 bench forward. Nah, I wouldn't be. I would be bench forward, but I would play forward and more in the sort of right wing inverting because at this certain moments that we're not really playing with an out and out wingers. So Foden can be. I said it before. Our front three should be Doku, Haaland, and Foden, and then have Cherky in, behind them, and have O'Reilly and Nico Gonzalez in midfield. Yeah, play the pretty boy a left back because he likes to attack. He doesn't like defending. Just Covardio. He likes to attack. Play him a left back because that's the position we bought him for. Let's not forget. Yeah. People say, "Oh, he's a centre half. He's not a left back." Well, Pep Guardiola bought him to play left back, mate. Yeah, because even when we signed him, all of yous, yeah, all of yous in this fan base, were put him a left back because we signed him after the treble, and yous were all saying, "Oh, the centre half partnership is settled. It is Diaz and Stones. So Vardy's going to be the left back and Walker right back. We're going to win the treble again." No one put Vardy ahead of Stones and Diaz when we signed him. So basically, not even your manager, he was signed to be the left back. That's why in his first 2 seasons, even when we had an injury crisis at centre half last season, he was playing left back because the manager signed him to play left back. Big up Omar on that. Yes, I'm back. Yeah, as I was saying, yeah, play him a left back because that's the position we signed him for. Yeah, get Kusanov in that defense, and we sorted two players in there, Nico Gonzalez and Nico Riley, who are physical, can win the midfield battle, and Cherky in front of them. Then you've got your front three with Foden, but he's not going to do that. Or if you don't want to play, give you Nico Riley in there, yeah. Yeah. I would play Nunes in midfield. Why can't Nunes play midfield? Because Pep told us he's not smart enough. Really? Anyway, who says we need to run? Let the ball do the run. See if I cannot run. Brother, how about post Bernardo Silva on the bench? How about that? Yeah. How about that? Why is Reinders not playing? You spend all that money for him, but he's not playing. Why? So you're gonna go and spend another 60 odd million or 8 million for another midfielder, not playing him because Bernardo Silva needs to play because he runs a lot. Oh my god, he occupies spaces. Allow the fullbacks to go forward. Shut the fuck up. Honestly, people make all sorts of excuses for this guy. I'm sick and tired of it. In big games, we need to. Oh, why Bernardo? Well, he told us the reason why he plays is because he runs a lot. Now you say why you say you need to run. Make it make sense, bro. What are we doing here? Yeah. Um. Yeah. I hear you. See, see, Spartacus. Check it was just as bad. But he never mentioned any word about his favorite. He never said anything about Bernardo. Check was just as bad. Real Madrid had no fullbacks. He's so savvy. He came on and caused trouble. Savvy didn't cause any trouble, brother. Check was good. Wait, see, bro, he criticized everyone but his favorites. And think Spartak only good forwards yesterday. Savvy Doku have. Nah, Doku was crap, bro. Doku was awful. What are we doing here? It's Savvy, no Doku, sorry, Savvy was crap. He was awful. What are we doing here? Like bare minimum, people say, "Oh my god, he was good." What? Really? For that? Really? Come on, man. Have some standards. Yeah, Czech was bad. Was bad. Reason Bernardo has to run on careers because Czech was slow. See, Bernardo runs a lot. Uh, right. Well, we'll be going for an hour. We're not going. You're not going to do more than an hour show, man. We're going to end up soon. We're going to wrap it up soon. Just going to go for a few comments. I feel yesterday we were not. I'll get out of the second here. What's our second game then? We always keep saying that. So it was decent. I don't rate him, but he played his role. He should have got Rudiger a red card. Yeah. The referee was a prick. I can't lie. I don't think anyone was bad, to be honest. You don't think anyone was bad? Jesus Christ. I'm not going to read that. As a strike doesn't work because he's not a striker. But the manager keep persisting like he's some sort of striker. Do you know what I mean? Don't blame the forwards. They didn't have much opportunity, but when you see people glazing and hating on some, I cringe. Yeah. The midfield has been a problem recently. Yeah, exactly. They're not. Yeah, but there's a solution. But we've got two midfielders who are physical and it can help our midfield. Yeah, but they're playing fullbacks. One, the fan base is adamant. Fan base and because the manager has brainwashed them into think that he's not a good midfielder. Oh, but he loses the ball a lot. Bernardo Silva was giving the ball a lot quite in the past 3 seasons. Bernardo Silva has been giving the ball more. He's been giving the ball away more than Nunes. Oh, but Bernardo runs a lot. Oh my god, he occupies spaces. Is he working for NASA? Yeah. But anyway, we're gonna be doing an emergency meeting later on tonight. Stay tuned because we're gonna be bring the panel. I think Hamza is coming on. Yeah. Our prophet is coming as well. An emergency meeting. Yeah. And then we're gonna dissect this Real Madrid because I've seen Hamza gaslighting to believe him this win against Real Madrid. Oh, we slapped Madrid. Yeah, our off the ball midfield is our midfield off the ball is poor because our pressing structure we have too much space and yeah, man. Why is it our pressing? What like we have not been good at pressing throughout the entire season. Why has there not been any improvement? Yeah, why? Especially away from home. Our press is awful. Like the midfield is crap. Yeah, I hear you. Brother, I'm gonna tell you this, yeah, now, and people think I'm taking the piss. Bernardo Silva is gonna get an extension, a 1 year extension. He's gonna stay here for another season. And then when the news comes out, you're gonna have a stream with a lot of beers. Do you know what I mean? Because I told this to people a year ago. He's not going anywhere as long as this manager is here. The manager will not allow Bernardo Silva to go out of this football club. So let's not forget when we beat Palace 5-2, the news came out from Jack Gorgon that Bernardo Silva was asked to leave the football club in the summer. Yeah, from that day, yeah, we played Everton on the weekend and Bernardo Silva started that game. But let's bear in mind, Bernardo Silva didn't start against Palace in the 5-2. It was Kevin De Bruyne and the man them. Bernardo Silva started the next game against Everton away. We won 2-0. Yeah. And from that day, yeah, Bernardo Silva started every single game, played every 90 minutes. And then in the summer, went to the Summer Club World Cup, was named as captain. That was away, yeah, and the manager was coming out press conference and praise him constantly, even though he was not asked about the player. That was Pep telling you, this guy is not going anywhere, and he's my captain, so you're not going to sell him. Brother, he's going to sign an extension, and you will lap into that. Oh, he's going to be in a reduced wage, so we need experience. He's not going to be playing a lot of minutes, so he's going to be monitoring all the players. Listen, he's not going to be playing all the minutes. A lot of bullet. It's a lot of bullshit. As long as he's managed here, yeah, there's more chance of me or you in this chat winning the lottery than Pep ever bench him or treat him as a squad player. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Brother, we all know it. We all know this. Why are we just pretending? Like, why are we just pretending that we don't keep making up excuses? We know this. But anyway, big up everyone in the chat. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up because I need to actually I need to go for a shower. I need to have a hot shower. And I'm gonna chill. Watch something. I'm off today. I'm in work tomorrow, but I'm gonna chill today. Yeah, man. But we're gonna have an emergency stream later on. Just check with Patrick. Easy. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Um Martin did say the clash of style Lindas and Pep. Yeah, that was Alam who said that first. Yeah. But I don't think the way Pep Lindas is trying to play, I think is the best way because he should displays, but the midfield profile needs to change and Pep's not gonna do that. We bought Reinders. He started the Club World Cup well. He started the season well. He had one or two bad games, and he got chopped in on the bench. But Bernardo Silva can have as many bad games as he wants, and every time he's in the team in the team sheet, no one says anything. Oh, he scored 2 goals against Real Madrid in the treble season, guys. Do me a favor. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, big up everyone. Yeah, big up everyone for tuning in. I was only meant to do 45 minutes, but we end up having an hour. But it's well, yeah, as I say, we just flow in it. We just flow the conversation. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, we've got Palace next on Sunday. Arsenal are playing Saturday. They playing the 8 p.m. kickoff against Wolves, which is let's be real, they're gonna slap Wolves, so they're gonna increase that points gap to 5 before we play Palace away, which is not gonna be it's not gonna be easy. But we need to make some changes against Palace, bro. I'm telling you, yeah. That midfield needs to change it. Either bring grinders in there or he needs to do something. He can't go like 4 games, yeah. In 4 games, we have considered 7. In 2 of them were against bottom sides in Fulham and Leeds. We conceded 6 and just keep the same midfielder like that. Can't do anything apart from they can't do something when they've got the ball, but when they don't have the ball, they're just useless. They're useless. Yeah, and you need to change that because Palace away, we're not going to have the ball for 90 minutes. Let's face it. I don't think we barely have the ball against Palace away. But yeah. Anyway, big up everyone. Yeah, and I'll see you later on. For the emergency meeting. I'll set that up soon. Yeah, Hamza, you need to message Hamza. Hamza's going to be there. We bring a couple of people on. I think Prophet is going to be there. Danielle is going to be there for the emergency meeting. We're going to just bring the real ones. Do you know what I mean? The OGs, yeah, of this game. Yeah, we're going to bring Spartacus as well because Spartacus needs a slap, but we're going to bring him as well. Him and his Savio thing. But yeah, anyway, big up everyone and stay safe. I'll see you soon, man.